Habits cut both ways. They can be our best friends or our worst enemies. They help us to achieve our biggest goals or keep us tied to a toxic lifestyle. When it comes to money, bad habits are especially detrimental. Bad money habits keep us tied to jobs we hate. It keeps us buried under mountains of debt. And worst of all, we'll never experience the ultimate freedom that financial independence can provide. So what are your bad money habits keeping you from reaching your ultimate potential? Hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tay from Financial Tortoise, a channel dedicated to creating personal finance content for the Sandwich generation. In this video, I'll be sharing with you 5 bad money habits that are keeping you from achieving your full potential and tips on how you can break those habits. Bad money habit number 1. Accepting debt as a normal way of life. In grad school, I took a class where we discussed the different types of debt. There was a spectrum where we line up all the different types of debt, from good debt to bad debt. Good debts are debt that allows us to invest in ourselves so we can earn more in the future. Think college or graduate school education. Or allow us to purchase assets that appreciates in value. Think home purchase. Bad debts are the opposite. These are debts associated with just pure consumption. Think of credit card debt, consumer loans, or payday loans. The basic concept was that as long as we stayed on the side of good debt and avoided the bad debt, then we were doing well. Most of us walked away from the class with the notion that student loans and home mortgage were a good thing and we shouldn't feel guilty about having them. They were a normal way of life. However, there is a danger to just accepting this idea without questioning some of the assumptions. You can see this just by observing the increasing student loan crisis in the United States and the ridiculous home prices. The danger of accepting that debt is okay and is a normal way of life makes us numb to the real danger of borrowing money. When I was sitting at the financial aid office for my graduate school, I didn't really comprehend the amount of money I was borrowing. I believed that good debt, like a student loan, was essentially investing in my future. So what was the harm? However, this thought led me to borrowing more money than I needed, and my wife and I spent 3.5 years afterwards paying the price. Don't accept debt as a normal way of life. You're essentially playing with fire, and it's the easiest and the quickest way to get yourself into financial trouble. Bad money habit number 2. Not paying yourself first. What normally happens after most people's payday? They go out and spend. They spend on necessities like rent, food, and gas, but they also spend on things that they want, like going out to eat at a new restaurant, or buying that new shoe that's been sitting in Amazon's shopping cart until now. And as an afterthought, they try to save what's left over after all the bills are paid for and the shopping spree is complete. However, most often than not, there is no money left to save. And they get stressed out by the fact that they can't save any money, and come next payday, the cycle repeats. If you read any time management books, the common concept you read throughout is the idea of prioritization. That if you don't prioritize your biggest, most important tasks first, then there will always be other tasks that will fill your time. Brian Tracy, a time management guru, wrote a book called Eat That Frog. He referred to the frog as the biggest, ugliest task of the day. And if you started out the day by eating that ugly frog, then the rest of the day would actually look pretty easy. In the same way, saving money is essentially your ugly frog. You know it's important, you just don't want to do it. However, if you don't do it first, meaning pay yourself first, you'll be paying everyone else and will have nothing left over by the time it comes to you. If you want to get ahead financially, then prioritize paying yourself first. Start small initially and see if you can increase it little by little as you develop this habit. Bad money habit number 3. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. We live in a world of social media and constant comparison. Whenever we open up Instagram or Facebook, we're bombarded with people who have the latest gadgets, the coolest vacations, and the nicest cars. My wife and I experienced the greatest pressure to conform to social norms when we had kids. Having kids is probably one of the most life-transforming experiences that you can have. More than getting your first job and even more than getting married. You have this new being that comes into the world that is completely dependent upon you, and your life is no longer your life. And you also need so many new gadgets to take care of this new being. A stroller, a car seat, a baby carrier, the list goes on. And of course, the worst place to get advice on what you need is social media. But I'm not a bright guy, so what the heck. I immediately opened up Facebook and Instagram and looked at what everyone else was buying. And this unfortunately led me down some dark places. When it came to stroller, we couldn't just get the basic model from Target, but we had to get the ultra cool one from the upscale store that expressed to other parents how much we loved our kid. When it came to a car seat, we couldn't just get any old car seat, but we had to get the safest one in the world, designed by the same engineer who built the F-22 pilot seat. And when it came to a baby carrier, we scoffed at the parents that bought off-the-rack brands and proudly displayed our custom-ordered silk and satin carrier. Couldn't people see how much we loved our child? But soon I realized this would never end. After my proud purchase, I'll go to Facebook again and will be disheartened by the fact that Sally from down the street had upped me in all the purchases and proven that she loved her daughter more than I love my son. I admit, it's not the proudest moment of my life, but I learned some harsh lessons from it. Don't get caught up in the comparison game. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. It's a never-ending cycle, and your mind or your wallet will find any fulfillment from it. Bad money habit number 4, not tracking your expenses. Peter Drucker, the famous management consultant, had a saying, "What gets measured gets managed." Essentially, if we want to manage something better, we need a way to measure our progress. We see this often in the health and fitness industry. If you want to lose weight, have a food journal. If you want to improve your run time, time yourself. If you want to lift more, track your weights. In the same way, if we want to improve our finances, we need to track our expenses. We need to see where we're spending our money so we can objectively see it and improve upon it. My wife and I use a free app called Good Budget to track our discretionary expenses. I remember once how tracking our expenses was an eye-opening experience for us. My wife is a huge coffee lover. Just by the taste, she can tell what type of beans were used and the skill level of the barista. We were debating the purchase of an espresso machine, one of those fancy ones that grinds the beans as well as foam the milk. Because we tracked all the cups of coffee she purchased the past year at coffee shops, we were able to tally up everything and see that we'd actually make our money back within 6 months with the espresso machine. Tracking your expenses for just 1 or 2 months will show you objectively how you're spending your money. When someone asks, how much do you spend on food every month? Most of us answer off the cuffs with a general ballpark number. But you'll be surprised when you see the actual spending, and most often it's actually much more than you think. Once you can see the actual spending, you can start making behavioral changes to better control your finances. Bad money habit number 5. Putting off investing. Albert Einstein said this regarding compound interest. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. Now, we all know Albert Einstein to be a smart guy. So what was it about compound interest that he would make such a bold statement like that? While the concept is simple, compound interest is actually quite remarkable. Let's say I offered you 2 options. One was, I'll give you $1 million today, cash, in your bank today. The second option was I give you a penny, but that penny would double every day for the next 30 days. Which one would you take? If you're like most people, you likely take the $1 million over the compounding penny. I mean, it's $1 million, cold hard cash compared to a penny. Even if the penny doubled every day for the next 30 days, it can't be anywhere near $1 million, right? But what if I was to tell you that in 30 days, the penny will be worth more? Far more. If you do the actual math, double 1 penny for 30 days every day, you'll actually end up with $5 million on day 30. That is the power of compounding. If you have time on your side, you want to start investing so you can take advantage of this power of compounding. Many people, whether due to the fear of the market or just procrastination, don't invest and don't invest early enough. If you're in your 20s, this is your golden window. Piggybacking off of what I mentioned earlier, regarding paying yourself first, take that money and put it into the market to start working for you. If you're unsure what to invest in, I have a video about index funds and VTX you can check out right here. Even if you aren't in your 20s, it's never too late to start. Stop putting it off and start investing your money so you can tap into the amazing power of compound interest. Good money habits are hard to develop. Unless you were taught good money habits at an early age, most of us blunder through life making a lot of mistakes. I'm a prime example of someone who had all the bad money habits you could think of. Accepted debt as a normal way of life? Done it. Tried to constantly keep up with the Joneses? Been there. Put off investing because I was too busy living life? Got the t-shirt. However, I was also able to recognize my negative habits and learn to rewire myself with better habits. If I can do it, Anyone can. Thank you guys for watching. If you found value from this video, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any of my other upcoming videos. I firmly believe that being part of the Sandy generation doesn't have to mean financial stress. With careful planning and preparation, we can thrive during this stage of life. Help me spread the knowledge. Thank you again. I'll see you in my next video.